our spotlight speaker is Miss Natalie Thurmond. We've been friends for quite a while through networking. Natalie is pretty much the most veteran of our group, and she is with Shaklee. And I tell people she is a walking billboard for Shaklee Corporation. And I'm gonna stop sharing here so that you can share your screen. Oh, I need to make you a co-host, don't I? Let's see here. Natalie, would you like to share your slides?
I will see if I can do that.
Okay, I just
I
made you a
haven't done this
co-host.
in I haven't done this in quite some time. Um,
Well, we're all friends here, so no, no pressure.
um, it says option share sound, but it doesn't allow me to click that.
So you have to pick the screen first that you're gonna
Oh, I
share,
see.
and then
Okay.
it'll let you. I know I ran into that a little while ago myself. And Santa Papa John, do you want to do you have a like a 15-minute timer?
Sure do.
Okay. We actually finished up our business briefs pretty quickly, so we can if you need longer than the 15 minutes, that'll be fine, Natalie. And then that way, if people have questions and answers, we'll have more
I
time for that.
just it's not a oh there, okay. 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 All right. I do want to say that this starts out with a 1 minute video, which I trusting will work, and then we will go into some slides. I have to go up here and oh, it's covering. Okay, let me see. All right, so here we go.
The biggest issue in the country right now is that we're all getting sicker, fatter, more
Can you see
depressed,
and
more
hear that?
infertile. Our eyes can gloss over the stats, but more than 25% of young adults having prediabetes, 20% of teens having fatty liver disease, 50% of teens now being overweight or obese, and then that going to close to 80% now overweight or obese for adults. This is the biggest issue in the country.
Yeah, but it's so incredible, Callie, that it's not part of our political discourse. When you hear debates on the debate stage, when you hear the news reports about what's wrong with our country or what's going on, this is absent from the conversation. It's just so striking to me.
I don't think it's that complicated that we're getting sicker because of food. And I think the most appalling thing that's happening is not only is the medical system not ringing the alarm bell about food, the dean of Harvard Med School or the head of the NIH not standing before Congress saying, let's not give kids sugar. They're actually in bed with the food companies. The most shocking thing I saw is the Heritage Foundation taking money from Coca-Cola to say it's immoral and against conservative principles to not give poor kids Coke. The biggest issue in the country right now is that we're all getting.
If you look at all the root causes of aging, most of the molecules that signal the
I don't
root
want
causes of
this.
aging live in our plasma from inflammation.
Okay, now we're on our way. Thank you. Hope that was interest. What if we depended on our doctors when we were sick and then maybe just get better educated on what we can do to stay well and not need them so often for a fix? And my arrows are not working. There it goes. Okay. So the sick care industry has to do with drugs, which are side effects, and targeting results, trying to fix solutions temporarily so that we go back the next week and have to get another fix. Whereas prevention has to do with family habits, food and lifestyle, side benefits, and long-term sustained results. So our focus is taking personal responsibility with preventive health care. So I'd like to introduce you to what I'm calling the Wellness Project, Raising Healthy Families, Performance of with Fitness, concerning what some of the Olympics people have done, aging gracefully at all stages of life. So what is wellness? Well, in this situation, I cannot have you answer me your thoughts on that, unfortunately. But let's say we're going to live our life consciously in ways that improve our health and well-being. There are many ways we can do this. Some people use herbs and different potions, and some people use drugs. We're going to look at what you might be able to do to better your health. Approximately 50% of the U.S. population has a chronic disease. 86% of healthcare costs are attributed to kind of chronic disease. Changing behavior in regard to health habits is difficult and complex, and people don't really understand the change process, and most people don't really want to change. Why change when you're not dead yet? Many people struggle with poor health and vitality because they lack the motivation, skills, knowledge, and resources to make sustained changes in their lifestyle. So the question is, where are you in this continuum? Most people are in that yellow section in the center. They don't really have a lot of symptoms. They're probably a little bit inconsistent with their nutrition. They're sporadic with their exercise, and health is not a high priority. A lot of people are so busy making a living that they forget about living. And but as we continue and look at this more carefully, we realize that when we start having symptoms like headaches and aches and pains and things, so many people go for drug therapy or then surgery, and they end up losing normal function. And then it goes on toward disease where they're on multiple medications, have a poor quality of life, and they're limited in their body activity and function, whereas we could go the other direction and go toward the greens and work on regular exercise, good nutrition, wellness education, and minimal nerve interference, which I think has to do with like chiropractic. We'll get into that. So with optimum health, we have 100% function, continuously developing active participation in a wellness lifestyle. So let's think about some strategies for health and wellness, and we'll take type 2 diabetes as an example. Perhaps you are blessed and that is not your picture, but it is rampant in our country, and it's actually one of the things that's really almost devastating to our health insurances and different, health programs. 5 lifestyle factors have been shown to reduce the risk. And maybe if it's not diabetes, maybe it's pre-diabetes, which is metabolic syndrome. 1, have a healthy diet and environment. 2, keep an ideal body weight. You know what? 75% of Americans are overweight. They're not at their ideal body weight. 3, being physically active. 4, not smoking. Minimizing alcohol use is number 5. And so those 5 things are really a good place to start. And men who adopted all 5 healthy lifestyle factors lower their risk for developing diabetes by 72%, and women who did the same by 84%. Seems to me like it'd be worth the struggle, wouldn't it? Well, here's our problem. Number 1, we're not eating right. 25% of kids' diets come from fast food. Their number 1 vegetable is French fries. Not good. Problem 2, even healthy food is not as nutrition as it once was, and we'll get into that in a minute. Yes, commercialism does contribute to the poor quality of our food, just as those fellows were talking about in that brief review. And the whole thing you could listen to on YouTube. It's very, very interesting. Maybe you have a craving for sweets. You wonder why? Well, our food and companies build that into much of the food. Prepackaged food especially is designed, and snack food, to make you want to have some more. But in the meantime, the impact of commercialism on our food started a few years ago, and when they tried to, well, they not only tried, they put into effect all these commercial fertilizers, chemical fertilizers, so now the farmer can grow 2 ears of corn instead of one, but those 2 ears together have less nutritional value than the one did a few years ago. So we're eating more, trying to get the nutrition that we need, and that again is bad. And everybody puts profit in front of health. We're less active, so we need fewer calories. But how many of us eat less? Also, the nutrients we need must come from fewer calories, or we gain weight as we get older. Believe me, I know about that. It's a constant struggle. But we want to be healthy, don't we? So the contamination of our food supply, again, is rampant. Now the government requires bioengineered on the back of these products that are genetically modified. And it's amazing to me how many of our brand names that we trusted through the years now have bioengineering on the back of the label. You really have to read those labels. Even on the back of a vitamin in a store, it was there. And who would think that a company would be so brass as to develop a vitamin that's supposed to make you healthy and then put bioengineered stuff in it? Crazy. So anyway, like I said, obesity is rampant, and it's accountable for about 80 medical conditions. Toxins inside us are also alarming. Heavy metals, pesticides, industrial chemicals, pathogens, so many chemicals. And this has to do with what is around us, our food, not only just our food, but our cleaners and our skincare. We need better education. We need to encourage and support better diet plans, encourage quality supplementation, support cleaner agricultural practices, and educate healthcare professionals so that we won't have to always have the default resource as ask the doctor. And what it seems to me a lot nowadays is that we go to the doctor, he says, or she says, give me your blood and I'll give you a prescription. Because they are educated to treat, not to prevent. They are educated to keep you coming back to get your pills and your prescription for another month. But there are other choices: chiropractic, massage, acupuncture, non-Western medicine, detox, and colon therapy. That's something you can do yourself. And functional medicine, which is what the physician is that was in that brief thing that you saw. Environmental toxins and mold, that's something you can work at as well to get out of your home. Functional medicine is a side, shall I say, I don't know how to say it. It's just a different way of treating, whereas they look at the reasons why, even to ask, were you vaginally born or by cesarean? Because there is a difference in the kid's health. But they look, instead of trying to treat all these things with symptoms and drugs, they go and say, why? What's going on in your body? Look at the nutrition, look at the exercise, look at the stress management, look at supplementation. These are all important. So how can we start our wellness journey? Well, as I ranted about a minute ago, check for the food ingredients and drink water, not pop. Pop is, our bodies are supposed to be 7 neutral, 7 not acidic or alkaline sodas. Pop is 4, which is really acidic, bad for us. Create a non-toxic home. Get cleaners that are carefully made so that they are not aggravating your allergies and your asthma, and you can breathe at home, not all these plug-ins and sprays that are just adding more chemicals to the mix. And then use safe ingredients on your skin, ones that are proven to be safe, because we don't know what's coming from these other companies. Okay, so living your life consciously in ways that improve your health and well-being. How? Start at home, check for the sugars, move, get up from your desk and walk around. Decipher labels, find healthy partners to help you. Now, we know that you're smart and you want to do your homework, but we know you're busy too, so I can take your questions, I can help you find good stuff. People say this is what's important to them, choices that are safe, choices that are proven. Eliminate the environmental aggravations, what we breathe, what's in cleaning compound, what's in skincare products. And then I have my little favorite package here that I've been speaking to you about. If you want to feel better, these are from the Shaklee Corporation. Dr. Shaklee brought out the first multi in 1915 in the United States. He brought out the first plant protein in the 60s. These are a great combination of 3 little products that are under $100. Would love to speak with you to see if that might be something that would be a joy to you. I get it to you at the member cost and pay the shipping myself. So I have 10 seconds left. Thank you. I'm going to stop the share, and thank you so much for listening.
It was a beautiful presentation. Beautiful. So does anybody have any questions for Natalie?
Natalie, I was
Yes,
looking
sir.
for that. I was looking for in your slides that picture of you when you were like, what, 11 years old? You remember that one?
Well, I had the one that you really liked was when I was 3 eating the peanut butter out of the jar with a knife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this was something that a friend of mine provided. I did not put this together at all. I am not. Yeah, that was a whole different one. Maybe I'll do that next time.
Yeah. Anybody else have any questions for Natalie? I will say that one of my experience with Shaklee that I really like is that you can, they still have the meology, Natalie.
Oh, yes, yes.
So you can actually go in and put all your health conditions, what medicines you're taking, what your blood work levels are, if you have those records, and it will tell you what vitamins that you need to be on, like based on your age, your gender, all that stuff. So it takes all the guesswork out. And then they come in these little packets. So you don't have to sit there and open a ton of bottles each day taking everything. It's right there. Just for somebody like me, that's perfect. So
Yeah, this
anybody?
package is just a little bit more simple and less money just to start with people to get started to see if it's going to work for them.
Mhm. Yeah. And I notice all those things in that package are all very important for health. So
Natalie, I don't have a question. I just have a comment. Thank you so much for leading that. Really, the saying "we are what we eat" is so true, and a lot of what we have is so ultra processed. So I love that you're talking about food, and I'm just very excited that Bobby Kennedy's in HHS. Hopefully, he's going to change some of the our food sources so that they're not so toxic to our bodies. Like even just the standards that are in Europe would be lovely.
yeah, especially
Thank
for
you.
our
Great job.
children.
Yes, we allow so many more chemicals in our food than Europe and other countries. And many countries will not accept our wheat because of the hybridization and all of that that's been done to it.
Yeah. They won't accept a lot of our produce or anything. Yeah.
Chuck has his hand up. Chuck, did you have a question?
Yes. How long should you give give a program to see if it's going to work for you. In other words, how start it and how long should you wait before to see if it's working?
Well, this little program that I put up there, my team is providing a 30-day supply, and if you don't feel better at the end of the 30 days, you get your money back. I think it'll take 2 or 3 months, to really see good results. But there's a little checklist that we even provide that you can check it out. The company, all of Shaklee products are 100% guarantee. If for any reason they don't work for you, you get your money back. But as an individual, this little project is mine.
Over what period of time?
30 days. It's a 30-day supply. At the end of
No.
the 30 days, you decide if you feel better or not.
Okay, is that limit to what's guaranteed? In other words,
Yes,
after
if you
30
buy 2 or
days,
3,
you don't have a guarantee.
I think if you take my information out of the chat and call me, that we can have a better conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I am answering you correctly.
Oh, well, don't know how to do that.
Did you put your information in the chat, Chuck?
I don't think so. I don't.
Okay. So Natalie, do you want to, let's see, you could connect through, are you on Alignable, Chuck?
I am.
Okay. Natalie, I would suggest that you send him a message through Alignable. Do you get messages through Alignable, Chuck?
I've got the premium service, so
Yeah, okay.
but I'm still learning how to use it.
Okay. Well, Natalie can reach out to you on that. And I believe that Shaklee also has a lot of educational programs and stuff like that too, right, Natalie? Like where you can listen in. Don't they have somebody you can
I could direct
listen?
them to, yes, we have, one thing that anyone can go to, it's called Shaklee.tv, and there's a
Okay.
menu there, and in anything that you click opens to videos, short ones or long ones. So and it doesn't connect you to anybody. So nobody's going to say, "Oh, you watch that TV, don't you want?"
Okay.
Natalie, can you take a minute or two to tell us about your husband and his service?
My husband and my brother were both in the service back when they had the draft, and they were in during the Korean conflict, I think it was called. My husband was in Germany, and it was interesting to me because he couldn't find his glasses if they weren't on the right spot on the dresser. And yet he was drafted and taken to Germany. And he worked in a supply depot, but he was part of the service. And I wasn't paying attention when my brother was in the service. He's 6.5 years older than I, and I know he was in a couple of years as well. And I think he was in Germany, but like I said, I don't know what he did. I had nephews, and that I had a nephew that was in the Vietnam era. My father-in-law was in World War One, and then my husband's brother was in the service as well. So we were well represented, and I think they were all in the Army.
Well, we appreciate their service and also thank everyone here for their service and who has served and for your support. of those who serve. Natalie, thank you so much for your presentation. You did a great job as always.